Welcome here to Darcy Street for this round 20 clash between South Hobart and the Hobart Zebras. South Hobart have got the title wrapped up and they're still looking to go about their winning ways. A winning streak that currently sits at 13 consecutive games. It began in a dramatic day at Darcy Street against this very same opposition 3 or 4 months back now. Zebras leading that day 2-0 as we ticked into the final 15 minutes before a stirring comeback from South Hobart. They turned things around and it was a pivotal moment in this season. From there, they have not looked back for Zebras. Well, it's unravelled a little bit for them since, and they are sitting in 4th spot. They haven't got as many points since that round 8 clash as they had in the first 7 weeks. South Hobart, though, have been just about invincible. They are absolutely flying at the moment, and they'll enter this one as pretty warm favourites. We have a look at the recent form lines. Slightly patchier there for the Zebras as opposed to South Hobart, who have just been irresistible, and you'd expect them to be comfortable favourites today, but South Hobart will have their work cut out to a certain extent, trying to break through this strong Zebras defence. It's been the backbone. Despite their struggles, the defence has remained pretty solid throughout. The team that will be tasked getting through them today, fairly familiar side. A couple of slight changes there. In goals, number 1, Kieran Brown. He's taken the number 1 mantle. Graham Wright was there at the start of the season. He came in relatively early on and he's been fantastic. I can't remember too many mistakes from the young keeper. He's looked composed. He's strong in the air, has a safe pair of hands, and like most of this South Hobart team, has a very promising future. At the other end of the experience spectrum there, on screen, just kicking the ball around, Daniel Dogger Brown. He and Hugh Ludford, the real veterans of this team, the experienced customers, and they've been a strong central defensive pairing all season, and that will be the pair they run with today. And the fullbacks on either side of them, one will be Adam Gorry, who has been the best fullback in the competition by a distance this season. He's been absolutely superb since coming down from Devonport. He's gone from strength to strength. He does not stop running. He gets forward. He puts good crosses in, and he's been just so crucial to the way this South Hobart side plays. Liam Quayle on the bench, which means Connor Schmidt will get another chance today. At left back, just an embarrassment of riches in the fullback slots. Luke Farrell, you'd expect to sit in front of the back four. The experienced Frenchman, a very composed customer who'll just sit back and do the dirty work and allow that dynamic midfield pairing of Jack Turner and Nick Morton to do what they do best, and that is bomb on, get forwards and hit the scoreboard. They've just scored plenty of goals between them. They cover so much territory. They never stop running, and really the drive they provide this side is first rate. One of the stars of this season will start on the left. You'd expect Alex Walter. Been a real breakout season for him. He was in and out of the starting 11 last year, but he's really emerged as a star of the competition this year. He'll play down the left. Darcy Hall has made an impact since returning in the final third of the season. He'll play on the opposite flank, you'd expect, or maybe through the middle as a striker rather. There's Kobe Kemp starting out on the right wing, and the Kemp right wing experiment has really seen the best of Adam Gorry because he's just allowed to get forwards a little bit more. So I'd expect Hall to play as a striker rather. Benjamin Hamlet relegated to the bench where the likes of Cass and Quayle join him. And Nicholas Becker, I can't say I know too much about him, but I'm going to nickname him Boris right off the bat there. He'll be the 4th option on the South Hobart bench. It must be the backup keeper, I think, in Nicholas Becker, who's been playing in the Challenge League. As we move on to their opposition today, the Hobart Zebras. And a big omission is the first thing you notice about this team, and that is no Colonel Sanders. He's been battling a bit of injury, and he's not out there today. That's a huge blow for the Zebras. So important to what they do. They're going to lose a little bit up top without him. It might be Luke Huxley who gets pushed into a striking role in his absence. We'll have to wait and see. Dwayne Walsh also out injured, so they've lost some real attacking weapons. Adam McEwen on the bench has been battling injury as well, so it's been a story of the Zebras season, really battling away through injuries. So go through the team they do have out there. Number 4, young James Ackley. What we will see is chances for these youngsters with those injuries. A clever player, small in stature, but very tidy on the ball, good impact, good burst on him. So we have a look at the two coaches down there going head to head, and with South Hobart locked into the title and Zebras locked into 4th place. Not too much stress on either of those two gentlemen today. The rest of the team, number 10, Wilson Brooks, he'll be playing an attacking role. I expect another one of these young midfielders who gets the number 11, John the Count Duku Booga. He's a lively, pacey type. He'll probably start on a wing. Well, it is a bit of a mystery how they'll line up with all these absences. And then Callan Griffin has been a bit further back down the pitch in a fullback or defensive midfield role at times. We'll wait and see on him, but he'll work hard. He's tough in a challenge, and he's certainly going to have his work cut out against this dynamic South Hobart side. Where there is a bit of continuity is at the back, where you've got one of the players of the season, big Nicholas Grunwald, the Chicago kid, a star is Grunwald. He's been one of the stars of the season, one of the very best in the league this year. He'll be a red-hot shout come Mitsubishi Medal Night next Saturday, you'd have to suspect. And he'll be partnered in defence by Jaden Hay, who's stepped in there in the absence of Sir Vivian Imran Lewis, and has given a pretty good account of himself. Such a versatile player, Hay. He's been used all over the pitch, but one of the great utilities in this competition. Number 13, Luke Huxley, he'd be my choice to play the striking role today. We'll have to wait and see on that. He's played midfield predominantly this season, pushed into a deeper role, but he played as the 9 last year, and I think in Sanders' absence, he has to be the one to shoulder the load. He's troubled this South Hobart side in the air before. He gave them all manner of problems in the first meeting of the sides this year. It was round 2, I think, somewhere around there, much earlier in the season. And he was very good with Chris Downs swinging the ball onto his head. That's been another loss they've had. Marcelo McCurry will line up in goals. He's been fantastic. He's been very reliable in net for Zebras. Hasn't put too many feet wrong. He's been a very reliable custodian, and he's going to have plenty of work to do today, I think, so he'll need to be at the top of his game. A welcome return to the side last week was Jordan Muller. They've really missed him in the midfield. Just does the simple things so well. Moves the ball around, just controls the tempo in the middle, and he's the heartbeat of this midfield. They've missed him this year. It's been a big absence, and good to see him getting back. And if they are going to do anything in the end-of-season League Cup, they will need Jordan Muller at the top of his game. Number 15, Matthew Pace, another one of these youngsters who's come in, and he's shown plenty of what his name suggests. He's quite a towy fella. Here's Matthew Pace. He's added a little bit to them, and I expect to see him out wide today. And he's going to have a tough ask running at these impressive South Hobart fullbacks. But if they are going to break through Zebras, I think Matthew Pace is one they're going to need to get some impact from, especially with the Dwayne Pipe not there today and McEwen on the bench. Number 12, Luke Warriner, has been one of the best fullbacks in the league this year. The left back, he's come in from Matthias Toghill and just been a rock. He's locked down that left back spot and has been fantastic player for the Zebras, very reliable. He gets forward well, but defensively he's spot on. And there's a big part of the reason why the Zebras have remained such a sturdy defence. On the bench, number 20, Ryan Backhouse, another one of this teenage brigade. They've got number 2, Teddy Kadisha. He's played at fullback, but he's demoted to the bench today. McEwen, as we mentioned, and the backup keeper, Nathan Reid. So that is a slightly undermanned Hobart Zebra side, and certainly will make the task very tough for them today against this South Hobart side, who are absolutely flying at the moment. Brenton Copra, the man in the middle, officiating this one. As we have a look at Liam Quayle just strolling past there, just on the bench. I think that might be because he's not quite at full fitness. Commentators a little bit liberal, no S required there, just myself doing this one today, but I'll talk you through this one. It's going to be an interesting game. I think South Hobart will win. I think they're just playing better than anyone I've seen in Tasmanian football in the last few years. They're absolutely flying at the moment. They've got so many weapons, and I think the Zebras are going to have to put in a big effort. I wonder what motivation exists for the Zebras at this point. It's going to be tough for them. They're kind of marooned in 4th place on the table. They want to get a little bit of form before the end of the season, and a few players probably playing for spots next year will be where they look to get them. But against this well-oiled South side, I can only see one result. So we're not too far away from action here. Bit of a swirly type breeze developing. It doesn't seem to be favouring one end too much. Perhaps just going down there towards the kit room car end, as I like to call it. rather than the canteen end. Might be a slight advantage going that way, but does seem more of a swirling breeze that should make life pretty tough for the two goalkeepers if these sides can get some crosses in. It's apart from that, absolutely beautiful day here at the Theatre of Dreams. The sun is shining, blue skies all around, a lovely day for football as we continue with round 20, the penultimate week in the NPL TAS. Yesterday's results, just recapping them. Clarence pulling a slight surprise when they beat Devonport 2-1, although that was an undermanned Devonport side, a very young Devonport team, and perhaps that wasn't as big a upset as you might think on paper, but still a very good scout for Clarence, who now got 4 more points than they did in their first season as they continue to look to build. And Olympia bounced back into a little bit of touch and ended the tremendous streak that Launceston City had put together, leading them 2-0. The other action was at KG5 later in the evening, one of the most dramatic games of football I've seen down here. It was a game that had absolutely everything. Glenorchy Knights booking their spot in the League Cup with a draw over Beachside. I don't know how on earth they pulled it off. A very fortuitous goal in the end. Beachside will probably feel they should have won that one, but it will be Knights in the League Cup, which is the next thing on the agenda for both these sides after the final 2 weeks of the season. South Hobart, well, Ken Morton, when I dared to suggest that this wasn't as big a game as perhaps we thought it might be doing the scheduling, and when we put these two teams up against each other in round 20, still a big game for us, Andrew, he said. They are very keen to continue this winning streak. They want to ride that streak all the way to a likely clash with Gold Coast United. A bit of Akadaka ringing out about Darcy Street, as is tradition. A good start from the jukebox man here after some very questionable decision making on the playlist in the previous outing here. So hopefully it's a sign of things to come. And just wonder if we will hear Cup of Life as the goal song, which is really the thing I'm angling for. But we're just about to get underway. I think South Hobart will be too strong today. I think they'll win 3-0. I think they are absolutely playing some scintillating football. And I think with the likes of Lewis, Sanders, Walsh, McEwen, all out of this Zebra side, I just wonder how they'll handle it. But still some very good players, still some match winners. At set pieces, I think they can trouble South Hobart. I think that's the area they can really get at them with the likes of Grunwald and Hughesloot. That's how they beat them earlier in the season. That's going to be the key to their success, and they need to get back in form before we enter the final League Cup. It looks like Marcelo Mercury will captain the side today. The goalkeeper going in for the handshake here, so well done to the import. Shows he's standing within the group. There's a bit of a laugh there between the two skippers and Brenton Copra. A shake of the hands, and we're just about to get underway here. And Marcelo Mercury has opted to have the breeze, whatever breeze there is, probably at the backs of South Hobart in the first half. Interesting decision there, but I think a goalkeeper is probably the most qualified person to make the call on that one. And very interested to see how this Zebras side lines up today. Absolutely fascinating, because it looks to me like we might see a bit of a shuffle at that. Callan Griffin looks like he's lining up. Looks like Greenwald, or is he just having a chat? No. Jaden Hay now going back into the centre-back spot as expected, and Griffin will push back into that defensive midfield spot. Wilson Brooks appears to be lining up at right back. Griffin, Hay and Ackley in the midfield, and Booga and Pace looking like they're out on the flanks, and I reckon Hughesloot playing through the middle. We're underway as the Mordog Morton gets us going with a chip ball up top there, puts Brooks under immediate pressure, and he steers that one away to Mercury. Jack Turner to Connor Schmidt. A slightly overhit pass there from the Frenchman. Luke Farrell, who seems to have won his spot back in this midfield. It's a delicate balance when you've got the options that Ken Morton has at his disposal. How do you squeeze them all in? Connor Cass has been playing some great football. Liam Quayle, there's a couple of good fullback options, but Darcy Hall playing through the middle and Hamlet on the bench to allow Kemp to just start out on the right again, which really brought the best out of Adam Gorry and just freed up that flank for him. And Kemp so excelled at linking up, playing those balls through to the overlapping fullback. So just Tweaking the line up a little bit, Ken Morton again today, just trying to settle on that best 11 before we reach the NPL final series as Morton lays it back there to Schmidt, smashes it long, searching for Kemp, away by Grunwald. Kemp linking to the ball, long to Hughesloop, playing that target man role. Muller across to Booger, but he's robbed by the Frenchman Farrell, and Dogger Brown steers it down the middle. Getting a foot in there was Warrener. Grunwald challenging strongly on Darcy Hall. Chip down the line. Warrener sprinting back to get in and whisk that one away and over the fence from Kobe Kemp. And we throw in to Adam Gorry. And the wind just starting to pick up a bit here again. Does seem to be at South Hobart's back. The throw in finds Kemp linking up with Jack Turner. Spread it out to Gorry, and a bit of space to cross here, Gorry. He sends it to the back post. It's a dangerous ball. Getting back well was Wilson Brooks. Saw it away from the dangerous Alex Walter, the two number 10s there. Very nicely done. Into the middle for Darcy Hall. Wide for Kemp. Tight to the line, and just running out of room there was Kemp. And the goal kick will go Zebra's way. Mercury will build it out from the back here. Searching for the head of Hughesloot. I think that's going to be a pretty popular outlet for them today, those long balls onto the head of the big Hughesloot. That's a slightly dicey ball. Darcy Hall gets onto it, works it back, and opening here. He kills it onto the post. Oh, coat of paint away from opening the lead here. South Hobart wasn't the cleanest work at the back, and in the end, killing the effort, and not too far away was the Morthog, looking despairingly on the line. The keeper was beat. And we're back again here. Farrell, centering ball, dealt with. Jordan Muller leading out, but an early warning shot, almost a lead inside of 3 minutes for South. That's the threat they possess. So many weapons at their disposal. And Zebras with some new faces out there, a new looking lineup. We'll wait and see how they deal with that. Brooks punches it straight to the Morthog. Luke Farrell works it forward to Darcy Hall. Now Nick Morton driving the play. Grunwald sweeps across. Farrell again, driving down the line. And it's is it going to be a free kick or a throw in? It's going to be a free kick here for Alex Walters to take, or rather defer to the expertise of Kobe Kemp. Dogger Brown getting up there, the captain. 5 to pick out in the box for South. Kobe Kemp looks to swing this one in. It floats on the breeze. Mercury punching away, doesn't clear the area. Booger lobs it back. Morton, oh, Scott, he's effort horribly in the end. Still the danger not past. Alex Walter turning onto the right, blocked away from him. And eventually they'll clear. Dicey moments at the back here for Zebras early. And again, they've turned it over from the back, and that's surely a foul on the count, John Booger. And that will relieve some of the pressure, but Mercury's punch there. Kobe Kemp's free kick really picking up on the breeze here, and tremendous tempo to it by the end. Really picking up, and Mercury's punch just went straight up in the air. Almost led to a chance for the Morthog, but didn't make good contact at all. Perhaps a bit unsure where the keeper was. Long free kick now by Zebras, and Kieran Brown with a comfortable collect. And release to Kobe Kemp, who lets it run through the legs. Lovely stuff there from Kemp. Gorry looking to thread the eye of the needle. But Grunwald was in ahead of Darcy Hall. Callan Griffin back to Jaden Hay. He chips it down the middle to Hughesloot. Flicks on for the count. Now Jordan Muller. Dispossessed by Jack Turner, and now Gorry will look to charge forwards. He chips this one with a long searching ball. Mercury off his line, and he thumps that one up in the air. Pace. That's out off him, I think. No, it's going to be off Schmidt. And a throw in to Zebra's way. So a bright start in this one from the hosts. Getting into the groove of things nice and early. On a 13-game winning streak, which began with that Famous victory here over Zebras earlier in the season. Grunwald gets in there. He's coughed it up to Turner though. Quick little pass to the Warthog, looking to release Darcy Hall. Grunwald was stretching. Well done, Griffin. Won it away from Morton. His pass has gone straight to Connor Schmidt though. He threads it down the line. Two Zebras will deal with this. Wilson Brooks is one of them. And Brooks just dinks it back in there to Hay. Combine well. Hugh Sloot again, the outlet. Trying to combine with pace. Farrell. Now Morton. And Turner looking to combine. A sliding Turner pass is broken up. Grunwald been busy early, but they're going to be under pressure here. A shot from range is deflected away. And stretching to try and get there is Warner, but he can't prevent the corner. There'll be a chance for a set piece. Another opportunity for Kobe Kemp to swing something in. Well, no, in fact, he's going to defer duties to Adam Gorry. Kemp offering short, but Gorry opts to punch this one in to the middle of the box. Brown got a foot to it. Gorry surging there. He wanted it more and got there ahead of Booger. Kemp's blocked off by Hugh Sloat. Now Ludford swings it and it sits up in the breeze. Darcy Hall flicked it on. There was no one behind him though, so it's pretty ineffectual. Pace looking to release Ackley, who certainly had the pace over Luke Farrell if he could have been released. It was shut down though. That's a dodgy back pass that might let in Hugh Sloat. Young Kieran Brown was alert to the danger. Well off his line, the young keeper, and he had to be. So that was a very undercooked pass there from Turner. And Hugh Sloat unable to get their good alert keeping from young Brown, who's been so impressive this season since taking over the #1 role. Warner. That's shut down by Kemp. And a free kick will go the way of South Hobart. And a bit of a factor early in this one. I do think it's definitely an advantage for this South Hobart side, and I think Zebras would be very happy if they could get into half-time with the scores level, but the pressure is certainly on them at the moment as Morton looks to thread it through, but Grunwald was alert to it. Ran into Kobe Kemp though, and Hay just hacks it clear. The Zebras defence under a stern examination in the opening 10 minutes. Gorry. Darcy Hall. Turns, Grunwald tracking him tightly. Griffin gets a foot in, worked it to Booger. It was all South Hobart down this flank though, and Brown works it to Gorry. First time ball. And he's going to have to duel again with the count. And Darcy Street's favourite Ranger gets dispossessed on this occasion. And then the count just puts it rather sloppily straight out of play. Not his tidiest work. Here's Jack Turner, who smashes one back into the mixer, looking for Walter. Took it down silkily, did Walter. Turning, firing. A couple of legs in the way and blocked off. Well done by Brooks in the end. That first touch from Alex Walter was delightful. So Mercury. That one will just hold up in the breeze. You'll see the effect the wind's having on it now. Darcy Hall chested it down. Waller got him there, but falls the way of Kobe Kemp. Frees the Morthog Morton. They slide it in for him. He's offside though, as he takes a tumble over the keeper. South Hobart firmly on top as Grunwald opts to play it short to his partner at the back in Jaden Hay. Now Griffin. Grunwald lofting it forwards towards pace. Muller bringing it down. Back he goes to Brooks, who, well, he's passed that one backwards. That was very dodgy, and South Hobart, they get them back the other way. Nick Morton played it inside, but very tight and shutting off the middle of the park with the Zebras centre backs. Not letting them come through there. That one should be a Zebras throw, and eventually it is awarded as such. Just pointed initially in the other direction, but overruled by Copper, correctly so. Throw in from Warner over the head of Hugh Sloat. Warner Just bumped off it there by Darcy Hall. Now Nick Morton laconically gets around Grunwald, but Muller was back in support. Jaden Hay looks to take on the Warthog and beats him. Nicely done by Jaden Hay. Brooks got into trouble against Walter. He's bailed out again by Hay. He started this game well, the Zebra centre-back. Now he looks to drive the play for his side with a cut-through ball down the middle. Gorry has the situation under control. And he steers that one away. Throw in a good area. Zebras looking to do something here in the final third. Haven't asked any questions in the opening 12. And Jaden Hay really taking it upon himself there to stride forwards and drive the play for his side. Spent plenty of time in midfield. Very versatile skill set. Jaden Hay, one of the best players in this competition. And he's going to have to play a huge role if Zebras are to take anything from this one. He's got the throw in here. Hugh Sloot will be the target you'd suspect. Didn't really get full purchase on that throw. Repelled to Morton, but Zebras have it back. Grunwald sprays it wide for Hay. He'll play a nice little 1-2 with Muller, who's just set him too much of a task on the return ball. And the Frenchman escorts that one out of play. No harm done there. Brown just gets outside the box. Dogger Brown having to wait. It was a dodgy pass though from Brown, and now Hugh Sloot's on here. Hugh Sloot with a volley! Zebras take the lead. A turnover at the back is pounced on. Booger works into Hugh Sloot, and that's a superb volley there from the Zebras striker. And they've taken the lead. This is spectacular stuff. Booger initially miscontrolled, set it up. It wasn't the greatest service, but Hugh Sloot made it work, and he lofts the young keeper who's been caught out by it. And Luke Hugh Sloot returning to the striker's role gives the Zebras a lead against the run-up play here. And he scored plenty as a striker last season. He's back in that role, and after dominating the opening 12 minutes, it's now South Hobart chasing the game. And Luke Hugh Sloot has got a pretty good record against this team. South looking to respond immediately. Adam Gorry crossing. Well done by Griffin. Gorry will get another bite at it. Kobe Kemp blocked off. Morton with a chance. Morton, that's blocked as well. Kobe Kemp, plenty of bodies back here for Zebras. Multiple shot blocks. Frustrating South Hobart. Just wouldn't quite sit there for Morton. Gorry now. And was shut down well by Ackley. This has been good scrambling defence from the Zebras. It's been their real strength this year. Ackley takes a tumble as Brown clips him. And that'll be a free kick. So Luke Hugh Sloot has his side ahead. It was a rather poor pass there from Dogger Brown. He was under pressure. Real calamity at the back to a certain extent. Keeper didn't have much pepper on the pass to Brown, so he had to wait and wait, which brought the pressure, which forced the errant pass. Booger with a heavy first touch, but redeemed it with a decent ball, but Hugh Sloot still had it all to do. And dispatch it he did in style. Doesn't quite hit the scoreboard in the same way this season, Lukey Hugh Sloot. He's played a deeper midfield role. I think he enjoyed that one. How will South Hobart respond? Here's Alex Walter. Tries to go through Brooks. Eventually he gets the better of him. Sliding it into Turner. He just looked to turn it first time, but didn't make sufficient contact with it. And comfortably gathered up there by the keeper. The Warthog lofting it. Grunwald control the situation at the back, and he thumps this one high. It curls and bounces right on the line. Booger just working Gorry under the ball, who went down. Gorry then brings Booger down. That'll be a free kick, so good stuff there by the count. Not too many get the better of Adam Gorry, but he's done the job nicely there. And another chance to send in a set piece. It's going to be Jordan Muller to take. Hugh Sloot and Grunwald up top there. Jaden Hay also getting up. Aloft, the old pitching wedge to the middle of the box. Rising high was Dogger Brown. Away to Ackley. Now Callan Griffin looking to chip this one, but it flies over the roof of the net. A goal kick. Here's Ludford. Works it across to Schmidt. To Ludford. The Zebras are a team that have troubled South Hobart in recent times. Picked them in the first meeting this year, and for that miraculous finish, we're well on the way to doing it in the second clash. And they've started well here. It's an undermanned Zebras side. The big achievement if they could win this one today. Definitely the underdogs as Turner looks to go through Jaden Hay, who defended that nicely. Muller winning it well. Works it to Hughes-Luke. Big frame. Just took a little bit long to control it. Zebras will win the ball back though. Grunwald punching this one down the line to the count, but it was well won by Adam Gorry. He looks to get on his bike and charge forwards. Morton, Darcy Hall. Hall eventually breaks free of the attention of Griffin, then plays in Gorry with a delightful ball. He's got acres of space. Gorry to the back post, and they've equalised. Sumptuous football from South Hobart. What a ball that is from Adam Gorry. The build-up delightful. I think it was Alex Walter with the final touch. But how good was this? Darcy Hall, a clever little reverse ball. And Gorry given far too much time and space to pick his spot. And he did just that. It was Jack Turner. Of course it was Jack Turner. Who else would it be? The cork in the ocean from all of a yard out says, thank you very much, Adam Gorry. Silver service and immediately back on terms. What a response that is. Tore him asunder there. It was lovely link-up play. And Gorry just taking the keeper out of the equation. Lovely work indeed. So 1-1. And the goal's flowing here at Darcy straight to begin. Here's Walter. Steered away from him. Luke Farrell. Schmidt. Walter. Cross now to Dogger Brown. Kobe Kemp. Brown. Ludford. Away by Brooks. Now the Morthog. Going to run it Ackley. Left it for Walter, who tracks back and lays it to the Frenchman. Pressured from behind by the rangy Hughes-Luke. Darcy Hall gets the ball caught between his feet. Somehow worked it forward, Darcy Hall. And then a lovely turn from Kobe Kemp. Grunwald won it away, but he was dispossessed by Turner. Threads it through for Hall. Great chance for 2-1. What a block, Ackley. Did really well to scramble across in coverage there, James Ackley. And South Hobart really putting him under pressure here. That's lovely stuff, but the end product just not there on this occasion from Walter. He beat the defender, but he overcooked the cross. So a fantastic response this from South. After going a goal down, didn't let it faze them. They've dialed up the pressure immediately. They're really turning the screws there. Knocking the ball around. Lots of short, sharp passing around the box. Classy interplay. Turner just blasted that one. It won't work out. Spills the way of Grunwald. He smashes it clear. Pace got it to Ackley. Now Brooks. Brooks driving forwards. Sends it the Hughes-Luke direction, but it was straight to Ludford. Farrell to Morton. Volleys it forward for the run of Alex Walter. That's going to turn out just fine. Walter holds up, waits for support. Returned it to the Morthog. Looking to skip around Callan Griffin, who wins the ball from him well. And then bit off a bit more than he could chew by running into Schmidt. And Walter, deft little pass, a heavy touch from Morton, and he knows it. A slightly silkier touch, and he would have had a very good chance to make it 2-1. And it was a delightful little ball that, again, opening up this Zebras defence. Couldn't quite control it, the Morthog. Into the middle. There you go. Jaden Hay. Knocks it across to Griffin. Back he goes. Quite get there. Morton turning on the ball. He's charging at the defence again here, the Morthog. Oh, opted to pass instead and couldn't quite pick out. Darcy Hall in the middle. Now Zebras on the transition. Sliding for it was Muller. Well won there by Schmidt, who looks to get his head up and charge forwards. Broken up. Schmidt in there again. Turner. A shot from range is well wide from Alex Walter. Not his tidiest work, but filled with confidence. And he has a dip from some distance there. So Mercury. Smashing this one down the middle. Won by Turner. Hay steers it to Griffin. And now Brooks. Blocked off by Luke Farrell. Griffin sliding in there, but it's going to sit for the Frenchman. Tucks it inside for Morton. 2 on 3 at the back. Morton just holds up and waits for a little bit of support. Played it back to Turner. Now Walter. Down the line for Darcy Hall. Darcy Hall looks to play in Schmidt. Plenty of Zebras descend upon him though. And well played by Jaden Hay. Will win the goal kick for his side. Playing it out off the defender there, Jaden Hay. Not the most electric of atmospheres here at Darcy Street, although in many respects it is a bit of a dead rubber, this one, with the season one. Certainly some excitement with the goals, but we'll just sing back and try to enjoy a good game of football than too much emotional investment from the crowd here today, I think. Certainly not perhaps the big one we might have expected. And having a look at the fixture at the start of the year, seeing these two locking horns in round 20, thought it might well be one of the decisive games, but South Hobart have just been so good, wrapping up this title well in advance. Farrell works it to Turner. And Ackley. One sprays out a plate. Schmidt has started this game well, Connor Schmidt. Competition with Quayle for a fullback slot. And he's not put a foot wrong, so even with Quayle returning from fitness, hard to leave Connor Schmidt out. There's so many options Ken Morton has at his disposal. Usually sticks one of those long legs of his in there and puts it into touch. Ludford with the throw in. Directs it to Walter. Been busy early in this one. Griffin smashes it away. Usually not going to be able to get on the end of that one though. Heads back into the middle where Muller and Morton duel. Then Turner and Griffin eventually falls the way of Darcy Hall, who turns on the afterburners and fires, and Marcelo Mercury was down well to deny him. A placed effort from Darcy Hall as he looked to burn off Jaden Hay here. Hay had him covered well, so went the early release and it was on target and that was creeping in. The Zebras keeper had his angles covered, flicked over the top now, the count. Booger out after this one. Kieran Brown was strong under pressure and showed safe hands to snap that one up. That might be the best outlet to goal today. This Zebra side knocking him onto the head of Hughesloot, looking to hit them on these counter-attacks. Runs in behind, Hughesloot stretching in at this one. Steered to the Morthog, who's going to go the long raking ball from Adam Gorry, and he puts it on a dime for the fullback. Gorry now crossing in dangerously and just wide of the mark. Brilliantly kept out in the end, perhaps by Marcelo Mercury. Adam Gorry down this right-hand side, wreaking havoc. I reckon that's a good save from Mercury in the end. He's just blocked it away from Darcy Hall. What a ball that was from Morton. Releasing Gorry, who stormed in down this flank again. That's how their first goal was produced. Adam Gorry has been superb this season, and he goes again here and chips this one into the mixer. It's a good, strong collect from Marcelo Mercury. Here's Ackley. Oh, clever from Ackley. Just beat Farrell, all ends up. Lovely stuff from the youngster. Well, the Frenchman recovered, then lost it again. But didn't have to just impede him. In the end, numbers went out. And Ackley, I think, just needed the early release, although to be fair, only had Luger to pick out. Huxley hadn't quite made up the ground yet. And look at this fancy little turn. Straight through, Loic Farrell. Delightful stuff from Jimmy Ackley. And that one's out of play. So Connor Schmidt down the line, pace. Got to get into touch. Almost kick off up north. The Northern Rangers taking on Kingborough Lions in the final game of the round. A big game for both sides there. Rangers looking to catapult themselves up into 5th place, which they can do with a win. The Lions, well, after Clarence's win yesterday, and looking like the Wooden Spoons got their name on it. They're going to need 3 points there to give themselves any chance of avoiding that one. So an important game for both those teams up north. Follow that one through a slice of cheese. Mitchy Dent on the blog up there has you covered. But Darcy Street 1-1 with Jack Turner cancelling out Luke Huxley's opener. South Hobart firmly on top through the first 30 minutes. Do have a slight wind at their backs, but I think it's just been their superior play which has been the difference so far. Walter chipping in looking for Kemp, but Marcelo Mercury has been sharp in the opening stages of this one. Collects and plays it to Warren, who takes off down the left. Driving down there, and Gorry just smashes that one away, volleying into the crowd from Booger. Here's Warren up. And did Muller no favours, and Jordan Muller just questioning what on earth he was meant to do with that. Warren just blasting it home from 3 yards away. You're going to have a pretty good first touch to caress that one down. As Gorry looks for Jack Turner, who's scrapping with Callan Griffin. Looks at Warner. Shut down by Cody Kemp down there in front of Ken Morton and the South Hobart bench. Throw in towards Huxley. Brown rises high and then wins the second header. Only as far as Warner, who just lofts it high. Huxley's not there, so it's going to be on pace to compete with Schmidt. Nicely done by Turner. Worked it to Kemp. As for the early release, but Jaden Hay had his positioning spot on that one away. Griffin now long. Ludford away before Huxley can close him down. The volley pass from Morton cut up by Griffin. Now Jordan Muller in a pocket of space. Works it to Griffin. The two number 7s are really going at each other in the middle. It's been good viewing this Morton and Griffin duel. Scrapping away in the midfield so far. The tough customers. Here's Hay onto the head of Huxley. But Dogger Brown won it away from him and won it well. The best pass from Turner. Nick Morton was looking for a free kick and he got one. There was some contact in the back. She was all too happy to tumble to the deck with, and he'll get his foot on it here. Lays it back to Brown. Here's Adam Gorry. Gorry down the line. Grunwald read that one, got in ahead of Turner and just shields him from the ball here, Grunwald, and in the end just puts it out of play. Yeah, a little bit miffed there, the Chicago kid. Not sure if something was said. Warren up, thumping this one. Into touch. So here's Adam Gorry. Throw in to Walter. The count scrapping there. Darcy Hall works it to Gryffindor, who plays it to Ackley. Now Brooks. Couldn't quite find pace. The Mortog Morton turning, worked it. Playing a nice little 1-2 and a chipped effort from Morton, trying to catch Mercury off his line, but sharp keeping again. He was alert to the danger. Morton with a cheeky effort there. Ackley Well, coming from the blind side, tracking back in defence was Alex Walter. Who's working both ways. Luke Farrell, lovely ball from the Frenchman to Gorry, who's again in space down this side. He just puts it over the head of Morton. Oh, scrapping in there was Kemp, who got in ahead of Brooks. And his touch went to Marcelo Mercury, but Adam Gorry is just getting in behind Warriner in this opening half hour. That's 4 times now. He's gotten good advanced areas. He's already supplied 1 goal. If not for his goalkeeper, he would have supplied 2. And he's been a real force in there. Really using him well in this one. And now a chance for South Hobart. It's opening up. Kobe Kemp, who's drifted over to the left-hand side now, is shut down by Brooks, as he and Walter have just switched flanks in the last few minutes. Hobart knocking on the door. That was a slightly sloppy pass. It's not got any momentum on it, so it just sits there though. Doesn't roll out. Play comes to a standstill before eventually Muller's release. And the Zebras galloping forward on the counter-attack. Is that handball against Brown? Chest, says Copper, play on. Works it to Turner. Dogger Brown. Out to Walter again. Walter, a little step over, he sways inside. Look at that defence, he just glides on the ball. That's a dicey pass though. Now, oh, what a great intervention from Ludford. Got a foot in. Hughesloot was in through on goal if he didn't get that one. A vital intervention from Hughie Ludford. He's had a great season just doing those sorts of things, those timely interventions. And now South Hobart going the other way. Turner muscling Grunwald off the ball. He shields him away from it. Grunwald recovers well though. And the danger is dealt with for the time being. And here's Zebras throw, so the points to the Chicago Kid on that one. You have a look at this Hugh Ludford challenge. Jordan Muller looking to spring Hughesloot. And that was actually the Dogger Brown block, and a good decision I think from Copper in the end there. His arm was tied into his chest. Would have been a very harsh decision. So nicely officiated there by the reigning referee of the year. And, they will win that crown again. He's had a fantastic year. Here's Darcy Hall, blocked away by Grunwald, and someone in the houses behind there has just got themselves a souvenir as that one flies over the fence and into someone's backyard. Perks of living near Darcy Street, I suppose. And Adam Gorry straight across to send the cross in, and why not? The way he's been delivering them so far in this one. All hands on deck for the Zebras. Just James Ackley outside the box. Everyone else is back defending this one. It's a crowded area. Mercury fights through the crowd and punches away. Muller looks to release. Ackley's his only outlet, and there's plenty of South Hobart bodies back as a result of the defensive setup for that corner, and they quickly get back on the ball. Connor Schmidt works it forward. Chipped over to Darcy Hall. Good little first touch, and now Gorry's overlapping again. Gorry with a first time shot. That's over the bar. It'll be a goal kick. I'm not sure if it was a cross or a shot from Gorry. It certainly tested Marcelo Mercury though. Just floats over the top. Those diagonal balls to release Gorry. Proving a real menace. He was dealt with after he got rid of it. And had the keeper scrambling. He had it covered though, Marcelo Mercury. It remains 1-1. So South Hobart, despite being firmly on top, not leading in this game yet, thanks to Luke Hughesloot's volley. Jack Turner responding minutes after. Here's Ackley beating Kemp to the ball. Ackley through the middle, showed too much of it to Brown. Now Morton, later to Darcy Hall. Scrapped full by Callan Griffin. And in the end, he's adjudged to a foul. Here's Griffin. A free kick going the way of Darcy Hall. Eventually, a chance to be swung in here. Kobe Kemp hauled down there. It was Morton. No complaints. I think he was giving as good as he got. He hit the decks. We have a look there. Still acrobatically trying to win it away there. Eventually, Jaden Hay clearing the area. Works it across Schmidt looking for the Morthog Morton. Pace played it out. Turner across. Dwelling on the ball as Kemp works it for Walter. Walter to the overlapping Gorry. He's giving a roasting down this right-hand side. Played it back to Walter. Blocked off by Warrener. Forward they go, looking at Warrener as the outlet. Sliding in was Dogger Brown. Physical coming together. Throw in will be taken. Jack Turner into the middle for Jaden Hay. Hay chips it forward for Walter. Walter directing it in the Turner direction. Coming out was Grunwald just to put him off. Now Gorry's charging in the other way. Ackley across in coverage. First goal up north. Nicola now Atkinson putting Rangers ahead after 3 minutes. So good signs for Rangers and not such good signs for a Sheikh Kamara-less Kingborough side. Here is Adam Gorry with another chance to swing across in the Morton direction. Hay had him well in check. Farrell got a foot in, turned it in Turner's direction, who skips into the box and then crosses, looking for Morton, but Ackley blocked that off, and Warrener has stayed down here, so we'll have a hook to proceedings while he can be checked on. Warrener on his knees, and referee signalling to the physio, Pitchford to come out. Try and see what's happened here for Luke Warrener. The ball's floated over his head, and well, that's a bad sign because he's immediately grabbing it at his legs, and then he's gone down and stayed down afterwards. So I don't know if he's just twinged or tweaked something, but not a contact injury, which is not a good sign. Back to his feet. Pitchford giving him some treatment. And he's able to walk, so he's cutting a fairly forlorn figure. But at least he can walk off. But struggling a little bit there, Luke Warrener. We'll wait and see what the net result of that is. And it seems like it might actually have been from that clash with Brown a little bit earlier, as this one swung in. There is the aforementioned Brown, but there's a collision between him and Brown just down in front of me on the wing here. Didn't have a great view of it, but I think that's probably what's caused the distress for Warrener. He's limping over to the bench. So yeah, I think it was just left over from that one. And he's still being affected by it, so he's trotted over to the bench. Sunday McEwen warming up, as is Teddy Kadisha for the Zebs. Brooks now chipping it forward down the line, looking for pace. Ludford has the situation well under control. Brown lofting it forward. Getting in there was Brooks. Oh, clever little back heel that from Darcy Hall. Wonderful sliding challenge from Callan Griffin, halted the charge, albeit temporarily, because Darcy Hall's got his foot back on it. Looking to release Walter, succeeded only in finding Ackley, who's slotted into left back for the time being. And Booger looking to run at Gorry. He slides in and puts that one into touch. And let's see. We'll have a look. This is the clash with Brown. And oh yes. Yeah. He's clattered into him there, Dogger Brown. Copped the elbow to the ribcage. Now, I'm not surprised he's a little bit sore after that one. He's back on the pitch now, though, Warrener. Immediately trying to get involved as Gorry just lost his footing and turned it into a slide challenge in the end to block off the count. Now Warrener throwing, looking for Hugh Sloot. Over heads, and South Hobart should see it away through Ludford. Well pressured by the Zebras trio there. Warrener again towards Hugh Sloot, again over his head though, and a drive, opportunistic from Booger, trying to catch Kieran Brown unawares, but the young keeper alert to it. But just these throw-ins to the box to the head of Huxley, just going over his noggin so far. Not quite got the service he needs. Really impact the contest from them. It's a good outlet that they used to tremendous effect earlier in the year. But hasn't quite found the range with those throws to him as of yet. So we tick towards half time here. 1-1 the score. Lee Huxley's volley cancelled out by a Jack Turner tap in. So Hobart have definitely had the better of the contest, but Zebras, as per usual, proving a tough nut to crack as Grunwald sends it forward to Adam Gorry. Whisked it away. Morton to Darcy Hall. Back to Morton. Well held up by Griffin, who scrapped hard in midfield. I've enjoyed his work in this first half. Callan Griffin. That wasn't so tidy there from Luke Farrell, and how the play it goes. Pace. Scrapping with Schmidt. Throw in will go South Hobart's way. Darcy Hall turning Jaden Hay and surging into the box. He crosses. Well done, Griffin. Tracking the run of Morton. Got the foot in again. He's shadowing the Warthog everywhere from midfield at the moment. Here's Callan Griffin. Tracked the run well. Got the foot in. It's a clever little ball. And a full stretch denies the Warthog. Darcy Hall again. Crossing. Nobody home. It swung the way of the count. Didn't have an option with the early release, so he skips around Turner and then gets the better of Gorry and then chips it to an absent striker, Huxley, who presented short. So perhaps the wrong option there from John Berger. Hugh Ludford will carry him out of defence. He works it towards to Kemp. Turner. Back to Dogger Brown and across. He goes to Adam Gorry. Gorry to Morton. Morton turns and then punches it down the line again for Gorry. This didn't really work as intended. Griffin breaks this up and retreats back to his keeper. Sets him a task under pressure from Kobe Kemp there. Mercury did pretty well in the end of it. Gorry played it to Walter. Walter to Turner, stretching, couldn't quite get there. And now Huxley's on the end of it. Zebra's looking to break. He slides it, looking for the runner pace. But again, Hugh Ludford with a timely intervention, a stretch of the leg to cut that out. Twice he's denied promising counter-attacks, Hugh Ludford. Here's Callan Griffin. Slides it across for Brooks, who just looked to dwell and cut back, but perhaps caught oblivious to the presence of Kobe Kemp, who shut it down nicely. Into the middle, they go for Dogger Brown. Brown for Walter. Punches it for the run of Darcy Hall, but again Jaden Hay going stride for stride with him and defended it well. Oh, he's got himself into trouble though. Jaden Hay tried that cheeky little nutmeg and Hall works it to Morton. Back to Hall. Combining, let it run for Walter. Turning, Morton picks the pocket of Ackley and fires on the left, but he was off balance. And it was ill-directed there over the bar from the Warthog. As we get close now to the half-time whistle. I think Zebras will be happy to head into the sheds 1-1. They've settled down a little bit. There was a period there midway through the half where they were really under pressure from South. Constantly forced back in defence, but they've scrapped hard, made themselves hard to break down. And with Huxley's early goal, 1-1 the score. Here's Walter. Chips it through, away by Jaden Hay. He and Grunwald have been good so far. Brooks gets himself into trouble, and then Kemp with a first-time hit, which Mercury shuts down. And across to cover, and just trying to catch the keeper off guard. It's been a bit of a theme of the attempts from both sides in this half. Both goalkeepers standing up to the task. Mercury looking for Huxley. Brown has shackled him pretty well in that matchup in their aerial duels at any rate. Here's Connor Schmidt. Sends it forward, only as far as Grunwald. Griffin, back to Grunwald, the Chicago kid. Works it to Muller. Grunwald decides to take on Morton. Hits the deck and Copra says, get up. It'll fall the way of his teammate, Booger anyway. Works it to Ackley, who's straight offside. And that might just about be that for the first half. Slight stoppage for Warrener, but nothing too much. Grunwald taking a tumble there, and Brown will release this one short to Luke Farrell. Sends it long, looking for Turner. Wanted a run to come off him from Darcy Hall. Didn't matter, didn't win it. Hughesloot with a clever little cushioned header for Ackley. Ackley back for Hughesloot. He's got Ludford for company, and Gorry now in support. Slides it through for Booger. Miscontrolled and well away by the South Hobart defence, although it's an unconvincing clearance. Went straight to Griffin. Muller probably should have returned it. Instead goes for pace. Oh, he's deflected it home. And Zebras have taken the lead on the stroke of half-time. Muller plays it into Pace, who sneaks it in. A real sucker punch. And lose yourself blasting out. Well, the South Hobart defence just lost Matthew Pace there. He ghosted in. And that will be half-time. The final action here is Zebras reclaiming the lead. Jordan Muller just in there to Pace. Suspicions of offside, but no one tracking the run. Luke Farrell just let him sneak in behind. He was allowed to sneak in. He guides it past Brown. And would you believe it? At half-time at Darcy Street, it's Hobart Zebras 2, South Hobart 1. A stunning turn there. South have had the better of the first 45, but they'll head into the sheds down in this game just when you thought you were set to head in at 1-1. Matthew Pace has tied things up. We'll take a look at the goals in a second, but wow, won't that just change the halftime address of both these managers. Hobart Zebras 2-1 ahead. Pace getting the second after Hughesloot had opened the scoring. In between that, a Jack Turner equaliser. We have a look at the first one. It's sloppy from Brown. He gave it to Booger. Hughesloot then opportunistically lofting the keeper. No, I don't think he was expecting it. Maybe he had the sun in his eyes. Either way, he didn't deal with it, and Lukey Hughesloot says thank you. That was 1-0 to the Zebras. And mobbed by the teammates was Lukey Hugh. South Hobart responded with a very slick passing move. Started with Darcy Hall there, drew three defenders before playing it to Gorry, who was in acres of space. He picked out Jack Turner to perfection. What a cross that was from Gorry. Jack Turner does what he does best, sneaking into the 6-yard box and scoring. But then, right on half-time, a poor clearance gave it to Griffin, and then they just seem to switch off at the back. Who is tracking their own pace? Definitely suspicions of offside. And bang. It's 2-1 to the Hobart Zebras. And in a stunning turn, it is they who lead as we head to the sheds. We'll be back shortly with the second half, but this game has seriously turned with the final touch of the first 45. South Hobart will need to chase the game. We know they've done it at this ground against this opposition earlier this year. Can they repeat and make it 14 in a row? Or will it be the Zebras who bounce back to winning ways? We'll be back shortly, and we'll leave you with the highlights from the first 45. Onto it, works it back, and opening here. He kills it onto the post. Oh, a coat of paint away from opening the lead here. Southam just to swing this one in. It floats on the breeze. McCurry punching away, doesn't clear the area. Booger lobs it back. Morton, oh, Scott, he's effort horribly in the end. Still the danger not past. Alex Walter, oh, perhaps a bit unsure where the keeper was. Long free kick now by Zebras, and Kieran Brown with a comfortable collect and release. Greenwald been busy early, but they're going to be under pressure here. A shot from range. He's deflected away. Stretching to try and get there. He's Warren, but could have been released. He was shut down though. That's a dodgy back pass. Hughesloot. Young Kieran Brown was alert to the danger. Well off his line. Back into the mixer, looking for Walter. Took it down silkily, did Walter. Turning, firing. Couple of legs in the way. And locked off. Well done by Brooks. Pulls the way of Kobe Kemp. frees the Morton. They slide it in for him. He's offside though. And he takes a tumble over the keeper. Well, the Zebra centre back now. He looks to drive the play for his side with a throw ball down the middle. Gorry has the situation under control. Steers that one away. Throwing in a good area. Zebras just gets outside the box. Dogger Brown having to wait. It was a dodgy pass though from Brown, and now Hugheslute's on here. Hugheslude with a volley! Zebras take the lead. A turnover at the back is pounced on. Booger works into Hugheslude. That's a superb volley there from the Zebras striker. And against this team, South looking to respond immediately. Adam Gorry crossing. Well done by Griffin. Gorry will get another bite out of Kobe Kemp. Blocked off. Morton with a chance. Morton, that's blocked as well. Kobe Kemp, bodies back here for Zebras. He gets the better of him. Sliding it into Turner. He just looked to turn it first time, but didn't make sufficient contact with it. Comfortably gathered line. Booger just working Gorry under the ball, who went down. Gorry then brings Booger down. That'll be a free kick. So it was Dogger Brown away to Ackley. Now Callan Griffin looking to chip this one, but it flies over the roof of the net. Morton, Darcy Hall. Hall eventually breaks free of the attention of Griffin, then plays in Gorry with a delightful ball. He's got acres of space. Gorry to the back post, and they've equalised. Sumptuous football from South Hobart. What a ball that is from Adam Gorry. The build-up delightful. I think it was Alex Walter who somehow worked it for Darcy Hall. Then a lovely turn from Kobe Kemp. Grunwald won it away, but he was dispossessed by Turner. Threads it through for Hall. Great chance for 2-1. And South Hobart really putting him under pressure here. That's lovely stuff, but the end product just not there on this occasion from Walter. He beat the defender off a bit more than he could chew by running into Schmidt. And Walter, deft little pass, a heavy touch from Morton, and he knows it. Slightly silky. Turner and Griffin eventually falls the way of Darcy Hall, who turns on the afterburners and fires, and Marcelo Mercury was down well to deny him. The Zebras keeper had his angles covered, flicked over the top now, the count. Booger out after this one. Kieran Brown was strong under pressure. It shows it on a dime for the fullback. Gorry now crossing in dangerously and just wide of the mark. Brilliantly kept out in the end. Perhaps has been superb this season. And he goes again here and chips this one into the mixer. It's a good, strong collect. Mercury. Here's Ackley. Oh, clever from Ackley. Just beat Farrell, all ends up. Lovely stuff from the young superior play, which has been the difference so far. Walter chipping in, looking for Kemp. But Marcelo Mercury has been sharp in the opening stages of this. The Mordog Morton turning, worked it. Playing a nice little 1-2 and a chipped effort from Morton, trying to catch Mercury off his line, but get in space down this side. He just puts it over the head of Morton. Oh, scrapping in there was Kemp, who got in ahead of Brooks. And his touch mentions, and now South Hobart going the other way. Turner muscling Grunwald off the ball. He shields him away from it. Grunwald recovers well though. In that crown again, he's had a fantastic year. Here's Darcy Hall. Blocked away by Grunwald, and someone in the houses behind there has just got themselves a souvenir. Outside the box, everyone else is back defending this one. It's a crowded area, and Mercury fights through the crowd and punches away. Darcy Hall, good little first touch, and now Gorry's overlapping again. Gorry with a first time shot. That's over the bar. There you go. He swung in here. Kobe Kemp hauled down there. It was Morton. No complaints. I think he was giving his good. Forward they go, looking like Warner as the outlet. Sliding in was Dogger Brown. Here's Adam Gorry with another chance to swing across him in the Morton direction. They had him well in check. Farrell got a foot in, turned it in Turner's direction, who skips into the box and then crosses. Looking for Morton, but Ackley blocked that off, and Warner has stayed down. Warner again towards Hugheslude, again over his head though, and a drive, opportunistic from Booger trying to catch Kieran. Hall turning, Jaden Hay surging into the box. He crosses, well done Griffin. Tracking the run of Morton, got the foot in again. Griffin breaks this up. And retreats back to his keeper, sets him a task under pressure from Kobe Kemp there. Mercury did pretty well in the end of it. Gliding, let it run for Walter, turning, Morton picks the pocket of Ackley and fires on the left, but he was off balance. And it was ill-directed so far. Brooks gets himself into trouble, and then Kent with a first-time hit, which McCurry shuts down. Grunwald decides to take on Morton, hits the deck, and Copra says, get up. He'll fall the way of his teammate. Ludford for company, and Gorry now in support, slides it through for Booger. Miscontrolled and well away by the South Hobart defence, although it's an unconvincing clearance. Went straight to Griffin. Muller probably should have returned it. Instead goes for pace. Oh, he's deflected it home. And Zebras have taken the lead on the stroke of half time. Muller plays it into Pace, who sneaks it in. A real sucker punch.
Don't try this yourself. It's extremely dangerous.
Take me away from home. Show me all the places I've never known. And we'll chase the night. Erase all of these broken dreams and flight. And we'll fly.
So back we come for the second half at Darcy Street. Hobart Zebras taking a shock 2-1 lead on the half. It looks like they've made a sub at the break. Teddy Kadisha, I can see striding out there. It's not for Luke Warrener, who was battling an injury at some point. If it's Kadisha, maybe it'll be Brooks, and they've switched the right backs. We'll wait and see. I can't spy him out in that huddle, but I've only got a view about 60% on that. South Hobart, though, I could hear very animated in the locker rooms beneath us. They need to turn this game around. They've done it before against this Zebra side, but pace, I think you got a piece of it. It's either that or it's a Muller goal, but striking just before half-time to give Zebras a 2-1 lead against the run of play, really. South had the better of the first half. They created more chances, but very solid defensive effort from Zebras, and a clinical display up top has them a goal to the good as we kick off in the second half. Jordan Muller getting us underway, and it looks like it is Brooks who has made way for Teddy Kadisha. South Hobart immediately on the attack. Grunwald stretching and breaking that up nicely. Brown comes through the back of Hughes Luke. An easy decision there. Jordan Muller looks to get things moving quickly with quick release to Ackley. Went to Kadisha. Down the line he goes and steered away. Muller. Loic Farrell across there. Teddy Kadisha stepping in. Chipped over the top. Turner scrapping away with pace. Pace gets in behind him. Well defended by Ludford. Muller onto the head of Hughes Luke, making the header. Zebras, of course, will have that breeze at their backs in the second half, so it's going to be tough sledding for this South Hobart side. Well, the Zebras, with their 2 goals, have shown certainly not prohibitive at all. As Kemp works it to Jack Turner. Nice little turn, wants some movement from Walter. In the end, plays it to him. Walter running at Kadisha. Everyone's sucked up into the middle here. There's about 8 people crowding around the top of the box, and Walter opts to take the shot on and puts it wide. Running at Kadisha. Everyone's sucked up into the middle here. Just getting a little bit animated down there on the bench and issuing some tactical instructions. Playing an increased role with the Zebras coaching staff, it would seem. With Tommy Fotak, the coach, but they just sucked up quite nicely the defence, and there wasn't a lot of width for South Hobart there in that attack. Muller flicks on, looking for Hughes Luke, but Dogger Brown got in and steered it away. Turner chips it down the line. Adam Gorry giving chase, but Greenwald should have this comfortably dealt with. His pass was a poor one, though. Went straight to Loic Farrell. Farrell to Kobe Kemp. Showed too much of it to Jordan Muller, who's really impressed today, Muller. And be very thankful to have him back in the team. And provided the equal, or the go-ahead goal rather, just before the half, as Jaden Hay gets his foot on this one, plays it to Pace. Pace corralled by Schmidt. Kadisha just says, let's get it out of there, and chips it up to the middle of the park. Luke Hughes Luke chipping it over the top, looking to release Ackley. He's got the pace over Ludford, first time cross. I wasn't going to be able to pick out the run of Booger through the middle there. Not to be. As Hugh Ludford plays it to Brown. Brown to Adam Gorry. Adam Gorry to Loic Farrell. Back to Dogger, chipping it long. That's a pretty good ball. Darcy Hall running onto it, but Jaden Hay covering the area nicely. Grunwald slides to keep it in. He's conceded a corner in the process. So rather than a throw in, which he was trying to prevent, he's coughed up a corner there, the Chicago kid. Not his tidiest work. I've never heard of Kensley Latches. I suspect that's Quinn Kensley up there who's scored the goal. So it's Northern Rangers 2-1 Kingborough. And I think the confusion is the descriptor was Kensley latching onto a ball. So Quinn Kensley taking the lead at the NTCA ground as the corner swung in. And John Booger out there. Gorry getting his foot in. The cross goes into the mixer, away by Nicholas Grunwald, only as far as Ludford. Teasing ball back in. Hughes Luke cleared it. Turner on the turn, smashing it straight back down the throat of Marcelo Mercury, who had it well covered. Marcelo Mercury will smash this one down the guts, too high for Rackle, or Pace rather. Here's Schmidt. Back to Ludford, played that teasing ball in moments ago. Down the middle he goes, Griffin broke it up. And Zebra's defensive structure has been very good in this game. They've frustrated South Hobart, haven't quite looked as sharp as we've seen them in recent weeks. Here's Walter now looking to drive at the defence. Grunwald got in ahead of Morton well. Played it to Griffin. Muller waiting on the ball. Wants Booger to present short. Eventually he does. Farrell in there on Griffin. Still the Zebras retain possession. Griffin just off the back of the heel of John Booger. And Ackley to the fresh legs of Teddy Kadisha. And Jaden Hay didn't like what he saw there and retreated back to his keeper, who returns it immediately. Into the middle he goes, only Dogger Brown there. Turner has Griffin all over him. And Griffin wins the ball in the end. Oh, tenacious stuff from Callan Griffin, and that's got to be a foul on Turner. No, play allowed to continue. Perhaps allowed to get away with one there, Jack Turner, but it's been a fantastic scrap in midfield, and loving the performance of Callan Griffin. He's added some real grit to the middle today for this Zebra side. He's made life very tough, and the usually crisp and dynamic pairing of Morton and Turner, who just physically bully so many of their opponents, found life pretty tough dealing with Callan Griffin. Long ball over the top. Looking to release Kobe Kemp. Takes a touch and surges forward. Can he get a cross in? Luke Warner did well just to impede his progress. In the end, it does cross the line, and it will be a corner. And Kemp thinks about the short one with Gorry loitering. Punches this one. Dogger Brown gets his head to it. Didn't have the direction though. Turner in sit for him now. Grunwald leads out the counter-attack for Zebras. They're storming forwards. Look at Booger bursting through. And what a ball that is. Playing him in. Grunwald, who's continued his run. Booger with the shots. And a good, safe pair of hands from Kieran Brown. Got down and covered it well. Grunwald had continued storming forwards there, the centre-back. Taking it upon himself. He's up for the contest, and Zebras, well, they're just sensing a bit of belief here in the lead and feeling like they can add to it. They've been more than a match for South so far in this one. Starting to feel good about themselves. Here's Jaden Hay. Chips it, looking for Huxley. Too much honour for him though. Luke Farrell tracks it back, then works it to Walter. Turning on the ball is Walter. A little chip looking for Kobe Kemp. Grunwald, was that a handball? No, it wasn't. Dogger Brown pressured by Huxley. Coughed it up. Now Griffin takes it back dangerously. He ran straight into Kobe Kemp. That was Darcy Turner. Now can release Gorry. Has he overcooked that one though? He has, and just that usual crispness that we see from South Hobart just missing today. It looked just a little bit off. And Ken Morton has seen enough to decide he needs to take action. Ben Hammertime Hamlet set to be introduced. And they're going to bring a striker into the fray. And Hamlet had a tremendous impact a number of times from the bench this season. Can he do it again? Here's Gorry. Turning on the ball. Combining with Farrell, and then again, it's not very tidy and rolls out of play for a Zebras throw in. Muller. Hugh Sloot. Warrener. Surging forwards, offside his pace. And stolen a yard there. Howard still waiting to be introduced here, limbering up on the near side. Long ball searching for Darcy Hall. Grunwald does nicely, gets his head to it and Set it perfectly for his keeper to collect. Two absolute pillars at the back for the Zebras this year, Grunwald and Mercury. Well, their season did derail somewhat. The defence remains the league's best for the most part. Here's Kadesha across to Griffin. Broken up by Jack Turner. Kobe Kemp. Now Kemp with a little bit of space. Shut down by Warrener. And now the substitution will be made. So Ben Hamlet will come on. Who will it be for? Maybe Luke Farrell. So it's going to be the Frenchman who not terribly pleased to be the man making way, but I suspect that means Darcy Hall goes out to the right. Hamlet goes through the middle and Kemp drops back into midfield. So a defensive midfielder for a striker. An attacking move. Farrell probably not thrilled, but the situation does, I think, necessitate getting another attacking body out there. And the Frenchman is the one who makes way. And it does look like that change has been made. Kemp dropping back to midfield and Darcy Hall moving out to the right. So will the extra striker provide the impetus they need to get back on terms in this one? They've got themselves a corner here. Not a corner, rather. A throw in, and it goes the way of Kemp. Plays down the line for Gorry. Gorry, lovely little ball that. Hall turning, goes down under pressure. No foul, good decision. Just lost his footing. Ludford, I think, lost the ball in the sun there. And chips it onto the head of Turner. Darcy Hall gets in and won the ball. Then plays it to Gorry. Shut down by Warrener. They're sticking tight to Gorry this half. Caused him a few troubles in that first 45. South just showing a little bit more intent in the last couple of minutes. Working those combinations. Stretching for it is Gorry. And again, Warren is up to the task. That'll be a throw in after cleared into the referee. The assistant referee down there. South looking to turn the screws now. Looking to use their width. Not getting the balls in at the moment, no. Now Kemp will swing one in towards the back post and Alex Walter. It was just overcooked a little though. Walter tracks it down. Got Schmidt in support instead. A clever ball to Turner. Turner dinks it in. Grunwald unconvincingly clears. Hamlet won the header. Jaden Hayes steers it to the top of the box. Didn't quite clear the area yet. Now Morton looking at Turner. Morton firing, and what a great save that is from Marcelo Mercury. Sprawling across. Good contact from Nick Morton on the turn, but the Zebras keeper was up to it. He picked out the bottom corner, and that is a top draw save from the Zebras keeper. Keeping his side in the lead. He's been very sharp today. And again, he makes a pivotal stop there. Kobe Kemp swings it in, Grunwald away. Kobe Kemp dinking a dangerous looking ball, and Mercury again was strong. He punches it away from Ludford. South Hobart starting to get some good field position and get some balls in here, but the Zebras holding out for the time being, and their keeper primarily to thank for that. Another chance for Kobe Kemp. To the back post this time. Oh, missing the clearance was Booger. That wasn't tidily done. Morton, speaking of untidily, don't know what that was, whether it was a shot across. It was poorly hit and it spills behind for a goal kick as Booger just got the clearance all wrong. Just a big fresh area there. Mercury plays it short. Good Hay under pressure. South Hobart were brought unstuck on the game's opening goal. Gorry heads it for Kemp. Oh, well done, Jordan Muller came in and won it. Got it to Hugh Sloot. Oh, blocked off by Gorry, preventing the run of Muller in behind. Here's Morton. The Warthog. Chipping it wide. Good ball that to Walter. Zebras wanting a handball. Nothing doing. Stay in the field of play. Here's Morton. Thought about the chip for Turner. Instead, just keeps rolling his foot over the ball. Finally, he does combine with Turner. He's surrounded by Zebras. He goes down a bit too easily for Copper's liking. Tells him to get on with it. Griffin runs into trouble. He was surrounded by South Hobart players. So wisely in the end, they go back to the keeper. He's in the middle of 4 red shirts there. Kelly Griffin. Ludford. Griffin to Ackley. Just dwells on the ball and plays it back to Teddy Kadesha. Pace. Picking up nicely with Ackley. And then Griffin chipping it forwards. And the mullet just swaying gently in the breeze down there on the touchline. Majestic sight that as Ludford smashes this one down the line and runs out of room. Alex Walter trying to track that one down, and Gabriel Marcage just getting involved as you have a look at that incident on Turner. Chopra telling him to get up. Wasn't having it. Kadesha with the throw in as we tick past an hour here at Darcy Street. Zebras, perhaps surprise leaders, 2-1 the score. Capturing some of the form they showed earlier this season. Still time left for South Hobart, who'll be buoyed on by memories of their past meeting. Here's Walter looking to drive at Kadesha. He checks inside on the right, plays it to Hamlet, who was offside. He stretched across back for Morton, but he had strayed at hammer time. Here's Walter looking to run in, but as they've done all day so well this Zebras team, the midfielders just dropping back to the top of the box. They know these South Hobart midfielders love to cut inside and strike the ball from distance, but they've just denied them the corridor all day. And really disrupted their usual style. The best moments South have had have come in wide areas from the likes of Adam Gorry overlapping. The Zebras, for the most part, happy for those crosses to come in, knowing the aerial strength of the likes of Grunwald they've got back there will have an advantage over not the tallest of attacking lines for South Hobart, who after really controlling the match early, been well matched. And a foul throw being appealed for there. They'll get their own throw in anyway, South, so it won't matter. Here's Connor Schmidt. Throws it down the line for Walter. Jaden Hay. 2 touches to control, then Kadesha lofts it in the middle. Kemp comes across and wins it away from Ackley. Flicked on by Walter. Jaden Hay punches it away. Now Ludford. Will that stay in? No. Didn't have the bend on it. And South Hobart just struggling a little to break them down. No, they did come close moments earlier. That wonderful Marcelo Mercury save. Kadesha smashes it over the top. Brown. Across to his keeper Kieran Brown, his namesake. Goes back to Dogger. Now the Morthog. Across to Ludford. No signs of panic from South yet. They're perhaps not playing with the intensity we've become accustomed to seeing. That's a lovely raking ball from Walter though, delightful stuff. And Gorry cushioned it back to Turner. Oh, now plays in Hall, who couldn't control it. Kemp at the top of the box. Well done, Ackley. There you go, in the blink of an eye. They were almost unlocked. It was a lovely move. The raking diagonal, the cushion pass back. Darcy Hall unable to bring it under his spell in the box, but they can just turn defence into attack and create a chance so quickly. There's really a flat back 5 that Zebras seem to be operating with it at the moment. Really getting numbers back. And Booger almost playing as a wing back, and Warrener, that left-sided centre back. Here's Morton, chips it forwards. Hay should have this under control, and he does. And he's put that one over the road and over the fence. The ball's going to be called for here. Here's Walter, has a bit of space to cross one in. He goes looking for Hamlet. Had Grunwald for close company, and then Schmidt just lost his footing. Almost inopportune moments. Have a look at that. Alex Walter cross in. Hamlet able to get up to it. Play resumes, and Connor Schmidt can get his foot on it. Shut down well by Pace. Hughesloot scrapping with Brown, then Ludford worked it to Schmidt. Schmidt to Morton, it's opening up here for South. Morton with a little reverse pass, looking for Hamlet, but Jaden Hay, he ran it like a book. And he's done well there, Hay. Mercury with an up and under. And the wind has almost turned direction a little bit here in this half. This is somewhat unfortunate for the Zebs. Although they did elect their end in the first half. Although given they went into the sheds with a 2-1 lead, perhaps it's all worked out fine. Grunwald smashes this one away from Morton. And it's another change in the offing here. Looks like Sunday McEwen is going to be introduced for James Ackley. Can Sunday have an impact? He was impressive the last time around against these sides. So on comes McEwen and off comes James Ackley.
Substitution for the Hobart Zebras coming on, Adam McEwen being replaced by James Ackley, I think. Yeah.
Here's Hughesloot lofting it over the top, and Booger might be in here. John Booger, they've got a 3-on-2 here. Zebras, he opts to shoot. Oh, it was the wrong option. He had pace and McEwen. Just a lack of composure there from Booger. They were breaking in at the back. South Hobart scrambling numbers back, and that big chance goes begging. Hamlet now on the turn, looks to release, and they really could have compounded it. If they had have scored there, perhaps would have been best advised leaving that for his keeper. Instead, South Hobart able to quickly sack a throw through Morton to Schmidt. Plays it back to the Morthog. Morton linking up with Walter. Back to Hamlet. Hamlet crossing in. Mercury not caught off guard by the looping cross. And again, with an assured pair of hands. He's been very good today, the Brazilian. He lofts this one with a searching ball looking for Sunday. Went through both he and Ludford. Schmidt put under pressure by that pass, so he goes with an up and under. Hay has Hamlet's beating, and then Grunwald volleys forward. Kemp chipping forwards. Walter up against Kadesha. Walter with a touch, and he runs into the box, but Kadesha sliding in and dealt with it well. Nicely done by Teddy Kadesha, and puts it behind for a corner. Good challenge from the substitute. Kemp says, I'll take this. Walter, a short option, though they've got two men guarding it to the Zebras. And now they drop back into the box, and it's swung in near post and headed over the top. It wasn't too far away either. Decent contact. Have a look at the replay. Teasing delivery from Kobe Kemp into the near post. Killing this one in there. I've not got a clue whose head it's come off last. I think it's maybe Morton. To me it looked like a Zebra's head, but a goal kick has been blown. It might have been Morton. A real sea of bodies in there at that near post. Mercury. Long ball looking for Hughesloot, who was just grappling with three South Hobart players. They knew who the target was. It falls the way of pace, sliding it for Muller. He's got McEwen in support. He goes that way, but it was a poor pass from Muller. McEwen unable to get on the end of it. Some more action on the South Hobart bench. Let's see a substitute in the offing there shortly. We've got Cass and Quayle as options. Jaden Hay will perhaps prep the long throw here towards Hughesloot. Turner parks himself in front, and Brown watching him tightly, looking to sandwich the Zebra striker. They go in that direction. He wins the header, but it was ill-directed. And wide of the post it goes. 21 minutes remaining in regulation here. Hobart Zebras still holding sway 2-1. Looking reasonably comfortable for the time being. So Hobart struggling to break them down at the moment. This defensive unit doing very well. The direct approach might pay off though. Hamlet's in behind Greenwell. Ben Hamlet squares it back. Probably should have shot. Too unselfish in the end, and Hay steers it away. And I feel Hamlet should have pulled the trigger himself here. He looks to play in Walter, and Jaden Hay just made up the ground in time. If he did go the cross, just needed a bit more pepper on it to take Hay out of the picture. Covered. And the long ball over the top, almost unlocking them. Corner played in. Pace and Griffin. Header clear. Now Muller. Turner should get there first though. He does. Still scrapping his Turner. And Griffin slides in and puts it away for a throw. 20 minutes left for South Hobart. Trailing in this game. Their 13-game winning streak looking like it might be coming to an end here. Turner. Shielding the ball from Griffin. Lays it back to Gorry. Hall looking to pick out Brown, and again the defence does its job. That one ricochets up in the air. Morton takes it away from Kemp and says, I'll have it. Then returns it to Kemp, who's got space to shoot here. Kobe Kemp! Put it wide of the mark. It opened up for him. He's more than capable from range, but on this occasion, it was wide of the mark, and it looks like Liam Quayle is set to be introduced here for South Hobart. And he's going to replace Connor Schmidt. So they'll look for Quayle to bomb on down the flank a little more than Schmidt. Some more fresh legs to try and get them on at the overlap. Half time up at the NTCA ground. 2-1. Northern Rangers leading in the other game, taking place today. And 2-1 here at Darcy Street. They've pulled one out of the fire earlier this year, South. Can they repeat the trick today against the Zebras? Long in the Hughes loop direction. Again, sandwiched between two South Hobart bodies. They've done a good job doing that to him today, frustrating the big fella. Long ball forwards. Oh, lovely touch from McEwen, but Quayle was in support and saw it away. Grunwald over the top of Hamlet and steers it for Muller, who's got the better at Turner. Jordan Muller galloping forwards. Lunford clatters through McEwen and wins it away from him, who's then all over Jack Turner. Advantage is paid. And that'll be brought back and quickly taken. Smart, quick release. That Kadisha, well done. Walter looked like he was in. That was really cleverly done to shut that one down. This has been the type of defensive effort that had Zebras at the top of the table in the early rounds of the season. South Hobart work it forwards again. Charging forwards now is the Morthog. Laying it for Hamlet. It opens up Benny Hamlet to Walter at the back post. Surely a goal. He roots it and equalises. Extends the arms to the crowd. Composed finish from Alex Walter. The crowd's got 8 droppings. And South Hobart are back on terms here at Darcy Street. Composure from Hamlet. He picked out Walter, who took a touch inside. Assessed where the best place to put it was. And he did so with aplomb. Mercury scrambling across. But that was emphatically finished from Alex Walter. He left the keeper with no chance. And it's 2-2 as we enter the final 17 minutes. Again, perhaps a slight suspicion of offside being raised by the defence. Both the last 2 goals in the game have had that, but both allowed, and now we enter the final 15 with the scores level. Could they do it again, South Hobart? Could they pull another one out of the fire against the Zebras? We have a look at this one. Hamlet, no offside at all. That's miles on. Don't know what the Zebras were appealing about there. And what a finish that was from Walter. Right into the roof of the net. Emphatically done. Long throw in live play. Crossed in there. Griffin shut down by Turner. Hamlet, there's Grunwald's on the deck, and we're going to have a stoppage so he can be assessed. Lying lying on the ground. Huxley just remonstrating with Turner, who appears to be the one who's clattered into him from this Jordan Muller corner. We'll have a look on the replay. Swings in. Grunwald goes up. It looks like the elbow into the back of the head from Turner has just collected Grunwald, who has stayed down worse for the wear, and Zebra's going to come in for a bit of a chat. And interestingly, it's not Sonny Fotek, but Gabriel Marcos who's leading these discussions, imploring his side. So, interesting there. On the other bench, Connor Cass looks like he's being readied to enter the fray. He's taken the jacket off. And just going to do a few run-throughs now, so maybe one final change being ready there. Grunwald getting back rather groggily. Feeling the side of his head, a bit worse for wear there. Got clattered by Turner. And looking a little bit ginger there, the big Zebra's centre half. So after a brief respite, looks like we're just about ready to get back underway here at Darcy Street. 2-2 entering the final 15 minutes. This game delicately poised. South Hobart will want another one to extend that winning streak to 14 Zebras. Well, they're not going to want to throw away another win. Twice at this ground this season. As Dog around looks to lead them out and play resumes. Ludford. Zebras temporarily down to 10. Grunwald on the sidelines. And South Hobart take advantage of the absence of the Chicago kid. It's Morton. They look to test it by sending it into the mixer. Hay heads away to Muller. Now Warrener smashing it down in the Dogger Brown direction. Morton. Ludford gets his foot through it, searching for Hamlet. Grunwald throws himself at it and again ends up on the deck. And Jack Turner going at it. In a few words. John Booger against Kemp, lays it back for Muller, who tried to return it. In the end, he'll work it to Ackley. Walter and Turner get it forwards, and now Hamlet looks to turn and run at the defence. He sprayed his pass to Warrener. He might get another bite out though, because Warrener headed it straight back to Hammer time. Hammer time, Hamlet spreads it out wide again. Darcy Hall driving at them and skying it horribly over the fence. And another one for the neighbours. Tell you what, if you live in the vicinity of Darcy Street, you'd be doing very well today. There's a fair chance you've got yourself a souvenir. Long spraying all over the place. Third one today. So Marcelo Mercury. Sends this one into the bullseye. Over the head of Huxley. Turner volleys it forward. Griffin wanted it, got there. McEwen, poor pass from Sunday, went straight to Dogger Brown when they looked to be bursting forwards. Darcy Hall sold Hamlet short. Passing quality not been the sharpest in the past few minutes. A bit sloppy from both sides. Here's Ludford. Cross to Walter. He goes for Hamlet. Kadisha eating that one up. Chested down by Sunday McEwen. Hamlet tracking back on him. And Turner came in and Morton blocked off Griffin. And Zebras retained the ball until they got it straight up to Darcy Hall. And now South Hobart might be on. They've got a few numbers bursting forward here in support of Kemp. He lays it to Morton. The Mortog one way, then the other. Back he goes. Darcy Hall lays it off for Morton. Kemp draws a defender out to free up space for Morton. He couldn't take advantage of it as he skies his effort over the bar. Really intelligent run that from Kemp in behind. Just drew the space to open up the shot. And in the end, he might have been better off squaring it for Jack Turner instead. Marcelo Mercury smashing this one to a contest between Walter and Pace. Which way's the throw go? It goes to the Zebras. Kadisha to McEwen. Oh, it spills the way of Turner. Jack Turner. Hughesley tracking back. Did enough just to put him off, I think, there. Working hard both ways. Louis Hughesley. Hamlet up against Warrener. And driving in behind him is Hamlet. This is a surging run from Hamlet. He crosses straight to Grunwald. And that's out off Darcy Hall and will be a Zebras throw in. Plenty of numbers forward there, South. They're pushing hard for this win. Griffin with the direct approach. He sends it on down the line for Pace. Is he going to get there before Brown? No, he always had it covered, the young keeper. He lofts it forward. Jaden Hay favoured for this one, but his clearance goes straight to Ben Hamlet. And now Darcy Hall with a howitzer. And Marcelo Mercury got across and pulled it away nicely. Some serious velocity on that shot from Darcy Hall. And now Zebras. Nor Quayle, he wanted it more than Pace. He got in there. He's passed just a bit too much on it for Walter. He's not won the throw in. Oh, I think a little bit unlucky there was Walter. To my eye, that was out off Kadisha. Nothing doing though. Throw over the top to Kobe Kemp. Kemp squares it across to Darcy Hall for the overlapping Gorry, who crosses for Hamlet, gets a touch in. Now Morton, Turner, they're fighting in the box. And in the end, it spills to the keeper. It just wouldn't sit. This time Gorry's been able to bomb on and get a cross in for a while. They've negated his influence well in this second half after he threatened to tear the game apart. Great challenge, Ludford, to take it away from Pace. He's been very good at the back today, Huey Ludford. Now Darcy Hall. He's tried to take on Warrener. And Warrener just brings him down. That'll be a free kick. And possibly a slice of cheese for Luke Warrener. No, just ticking off, bringing him down. So we have another look at Hamlet getting in ahead of Grunwald. He got a vital little touch before Morton could work some acrobatics, and Hughesley did well to disguise a back pass, really. It's the accidental bump it towards the keeper. Nicely done, but a good chance this for South as we enter the final 10 minutes of the game. Kobe Kemp curls it in dangerously, away by Grunwald. Falls the way of Quayle. They'll just loft this one wide again, so Kemp can cross something again. He does just that. It's a great ball. Grunwald again, repelling for Zebras. Walter beats out Kadisha. Low and flat delivery, won't get past Jaden Hay. All hands on deck at the back for Zebras. Quayle blasting that one into Pace. They're holding steady at the back for the time being, Zebras, but they are being put under the cush at the moment. Dialing up the pressure. Long throw from Quayle, volleyed away by Grunwald. McEwen volleyed that one, and it's going to turn to a pretty handy pass for Darcy Hall. He chips it into the mixer. Hamlet there, it might fall for Turner. Directed goalward, blocked away. Turner fuming, no decision was made, but now Zebras are on the other way. No one's got the legs to really get up in support though, so they've got to hold up. And Muller does that. There's an all-in fight going in at the other end, if you can hear the crowd getting animated. Some pushing and shoving breaking out at the other end. I must admit I was watching the ball and didn't see a lot of what was going on. Walter and Grunwald certainly seemed to be at the heart of it. And Copper is just going to consult with his linesman. So I think much like myself, he was focusing on the play, and the scuffle was breaking out at the other end. So we'll have to wait and see what the linesman has spotted. Bit of argy-bargy at the other end. Certainly the South Hobart crowd weren't terribly pleased with what was going on. Yeah, need the dual camera set up if we're going to catch any of that. Too busy focusing on the action as Copper now comes in to sort things out. What's the verdict? He says, come here, Mr. Grunwald. Looking very casual, the Chicago kid, and No surprise, Dogger Brown was at the heart of it too. A slice of cheese for both of them. Well, having not seen it, if I was going to guess who was at the heart of it, you'd probably expect Dogger Brown might well have been involved, but Greenwald goes into the book and play can resume. I'm sure some light will be shed on that at some point, but not a clue. Just saw a bit of pushing at the end of it. Anyway, this one's chipped forward to Mercury, and we'll get back underway here. Greenwald straight to Kobe Kemp. Kobe Kemp galloping forwards here, and he's impeded by Booger. It'll be a free kick. Adam Gorry leaves it for Kemp, who plays it to Brown. And South dial up. A match winner again in the dying moments. Dogger Brown hustling for this. He wanted it. He's up against Hugh Sloot. He turns, and then the long legs of Hugh Sloot, those big levers, twice block him off, and behind it goes for a corner. 5 to play. You'd imagine it'll be a few minutes of added time. I don't think we'll see the 13 we saw in the championship decider last night, but there should be a few. So it's crossed in near post. Rising to repel was Luke Warner. And we'll go again through Kobe Kemp. Again near post, and this time again it was Warner. Rinse and repeat. Good defensive work from Warner. And Booger looks to lead out the counter attack for Zebs. Down the line for pace. Gorry got in and broke that one up. There's not too many fresh legs left out there for Zebras. Not really flooding forward with any great purpose on these breaks. Some tired bodies out there, I think. Ticking towards full time. Throw in. Hugh Sloot brings it down. Slides it across for Cal Griffin. He's dispossessed, and now Darcy Hall takes it down. Oh, well done there by Booger. Got in, won the ball back, then beat a man. But Kobe Kemp, strong in defence. Sliding in was McEwen. Turner won it away. The other Morthog. He'll turn and look up. Zebras flooding back in numbers. Great ball to Hamlet, though. Tried to jink round Greenwald, who read it superbly. Defended it stoutly, and now Zebras back the other way with a chip ball. Will McEwen get on the end of it? Sunday McEwen, he goes down. And Copra says no. It was offside anyway, so it's not going to matter. So we have a look here. And, well, he didn't get the ball, Hugh Ludford, but the offside flag had meant that it was all for naught anyway. But had it not been offside, well, that would have been a real decision to be made by the referee. Throw in by Kadisha, off the head of Quayle. Dogger Brown. Gorry and Muller, who wants it more? Muller got there. And he surges on across to Booger. It's Zebras who want to turn the tables and get a late winner themselves this time. They won't with crosses like that though. Hugh Sloot has dropped deeper and deeper in this game. Playing midfield now. Long ball will just sit up. Running onto it was Quayle. Hugh Sloot will just let that one run. Cleverly done there. One of the big Hugh Sloot, and it's going to be Connor Cass to be brought on for the final few minutes, and Darcy Hall will make way for Cass. And can he prove the super sub in the dying minutes? He'll probably have 5 minutes to try and make an impact, or are we destined for a 2-all draw? They've split the meetings 1-1 so far in 2017. And looks like there might be no separating them today. There is plenty of separation on the league table though. South Hobart comfortably the champions, and we're looking to extend their winning streak to 14 games today. Unless they can pull something out late, that's going to be a streak that comes to an end. Still, plenty of late drama here. Move over the Fergie time. You've got Morton time here. This South Hobart side known for their fighting qualities. And away it goes as Griffin lays it back to Grunwald, who volleys it forward. Ludford should win this. Steers it to Quayle. He goes to Turner. Ugly up and under. Walter up against Kadesha. Kadesha into the middle. Grunwald has the height on Hamlet. Nods it forward. Real aerial ping pong stuff this. Kadesha. I think that was the handball against Hamlet. He doesn't protest. Acutely aware of how he knocked that one forwards. And we tick now to stoppage time. And they're going to flood numbers for Zebras, so can they conjure something late? Nick Grunwald to take. The big Chicago kid goes back post in the Hughes-Lute direction. Rising high was Brown. Muller volley turned by Hughes-Lute, offside. The offside flag had been raised. The crowd was getting very excited, but the flag was up very early and the right decision. Pace well and truly off here as Hughes-Lute turned it to him. It was a great block all the same by Brown. That's a spectacular save, but all for naught as the Morthog Morton punches it in the water direction, couldn't control it. Kadesha into the channel where Brown, very Ludford won it away. Pace, corralled by Morton, Muller, across to McEwen, and now Dogger Brown. And Alex Walter looks to get his head up and run. Walter went for the little reverse pass for Hamlet, couldn't find him. And then Jaden Hay skips through plenty of them. They've got numbers forward here, Zebras. Jaden Hay storming forwards. Still going Jaden Hay. He's brought down fairly, says Copra. Play on the call. And now it's going to be a free kick, Zebras, for Kobe Kemp just lying on top of the ball. Let's try and dissect this one. Jaden Hay. Well, he got the ball, I suppose, there. Looks like got a fair bit of the man, and then we have a look. And then in the follow-up, seems Kemp lying on the ball. Has seen an infringement. And it'll be Hobart Zebras with a chance for someone to conjure a match winner. And something for the highlights reel here. Who's going to put their foot through it? Muller, Grunwald and Hay are lurking. It looks like Jordan Muller could be the one. 92nd minute. 2-2. Can someone make themselves the hero here? Will it be Grunwald or Muller? South Hobart with 6 in the wall and everyone back in the box. Everyone. It's going to be Muller over the top. Didn't look like troubling the keeper there. Muller just got under it. Was never dipping it back down. And now South Hobart will look to go back the other way and produce one last chance themselves. And they break the deadlock. 2-2. Can't be long left. Turner wants an option. Nothing presenting. Eventually rolls it to Cass. Chips it down looking for Gorry. But it's out of play. And that might just about be all she wrote. And it looks like we're set to end 2-2 here at Darcy Street. The champions look like they'll be held by a stubborn Zebra side. It's been a thoroughly entertaining contest. And I think we're going to have a draw unless there's a late sting in the tail now. Last chance saloon this is. Hugh Ludford on the ball. Doesn't opt to go forwards. A look at the watch from Copra. Walter tracking down a slightly heavy pass. He keeps it in, throws in a step over, beats one. Locked off. And Hughes-Lute. Oh, his clearance deflects right into the path of Connor Cass. Cass to Quayle. Quayle is offside. His cross lacked any real quality anyway. And that will surely be full time now. So we tick towards 94 minutes of play. It's been an entertaining affair. It's ebbed and flowed. South Hobart had a good spell. Probably shaded the contest, but Zebras have been plucky. They took their chances. They've defended well. And a well-earned point as far as they're concerned. South Hobart Their record run of 13 consecutive wins. That's a league record, and that's going to take some serious beating. Although you probably would have said the same about Devonport's 11-game winning streak from last year. And still we go on, and still perhaps a chance for Zebras. Surely might as well throw everyone forwards here and try and conjure up some drama. Nick Greenwald to take. What bit of McEwen scrapping. He curls it in, away by Turner. Hay tries to shape. He sends it into Muller. Oh, couldn't quite. Still not done. Back to Hughes, and again can't control it. Another look at the watcher and Cofra. Hay whacks it forward. Smash back in. Over the head, and it's going to be a corner. So still we go on, and still a chance for Zebras. Just wouldn't sit for Hay, Hughes, or Muller here. So Hobart a bit flat-footed at the back. Just unable to reach back there, Hughes. He's got long levers, but not that long. So Jordan Muller to take the corner. Is there to be more late drama here this evening, afternoon at Darcy Street? Jordan Muller to take. Last chance surely. He curls it into the middle of the box. And Dogger Brown clears it away. And that will be all she wrote. South Hobart were bursting forward with a 3-on-1. We won't see how it plays out, because that's full time. 2-2 the final score, an absorbing contest. South Hobart's winning streak brought to an end by Zebras, and thoroughly enjoyable afternoon. It was Luke Hughes who put the Zebras ahead before Jack Turner cancelled that one out. And then the Zebras again reclaiming the lead in this one. They made it 2-1 and seemed like maybe they were going to get a little bit of a vengeance. We'll have a look at these goals. John Booger to Hughes. Cracking volley, this opportunistic stuff from the big Hughes. That was 1-0. That was early on. That was completely against the run of play. South had bossed the contest early on, but been unable to make it count. But as I said, South Hobart hit back, a wonderful build-up here. Lovely stuff. Strength from Darcy Hall and a very intelligent pass. They sucked in the defence, and how's the cross from Adam Gorry? That is perfect service. Jack Turner nips in front of the defender and pokes home from close range. He's been doing it all season. It's a big reason as to why they are champions. But then Zebras, just before half-time, would reclaim the lead. Jordan Muller in towards pace. I think he got a little bit of chest on it. Certainly enough to confuse the keeper. Jordan Muller sending it in. And that was 2-1 to the Zebras on half-time. And they look like they might be able to claim a victory, the Zebras. And then knocking on the door, Ben Hamlet snuck it to the back post, and Alex Walter, in no uncertain terms, thumped it home to level it at 2-2, and that is how it would end. Full time at Darcy Street. South Hobart 2, Hobart Zebras 2.